So I'm stretching. It's the first thing you're gonna hear in my, and I apologize. Well, not really. Yay. Um, okay, well, first thing I'm gonna say before we dive in is it's been a bit. A lot has happened since the last time we've done this, which was, and I'm looking at the last live right now, was June 3rd. Today is July 9th, and a lot of has happened. Where do I want to start with? I want to start with what's happening tomorrow night on CBS? Or do I start with what I was somewhat talking about, a show that's going to end on Sunday? Today's Wednesday. There's nothing new happening tonight there. Well, it's my life. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm going to start with the show that's about to end on Sunday. Love Island. So, my TikTok For You page has been overflowing with a bunch of Love Island clips, and I've been watching a lot. A lot of shit has happened since the show premiered on June 3rd. Last time I went live. Excuse me. I had dinner. It was good. I'm gonna gatekeep it. You don't need to know what I had for dinner. But okay, let's start with this. Let's start this yap session, shall we? We shall. So, for those of you who don't know, Love Island is a competition show that currently is available to watch on Peacock. The season hosted by Miss Ariana Madix, I should say former star of Vanderpump Rules, got into some scandal 2 years ago where her former boyfriend, Tom Sandoval, where it was revealed that he was cheating on her with her best friend for months by the name of Raquel or Rachel. The whole thing was dubbed Scandival. I've watched a lot of Vanderpump Rules clips about it. The episode involving the aftermath I purchased on YouTube so I could watch, and I loved it. Especially when Ariana went off on Tom. And at the reunion, where she goes even more off on Raquel, her reads were so wonderful. I suggest you watch it best uncensored because it's a better experience that way. Okay, well, back to Love Island. Love Island is not originally a U.S. show. It's originally from the United Kingdom, but Love Island USA premiered back in 2019, originally airing on CBS for the first 3 seasons, with the first host Ariel Vandenberg. On the 4th season, they switched to Peacock, which was hosted by Modern Family star Sarah Hyland. Ariana's been hosting the show since last season, where the show mainly popped off thanks to TikTok and social media. And there's a bigger audience this year now. So, excuse me again. So, I think I've shown you who were the first people were. In alphabetical order, in order and days they entered, they were Ace, Austin, Bella with a dash, or fans may also call her Belle Dasha, and I'm being serious, there's a dash in her nickname. Shelly, Huda, Jeremiah, Nick, Alandria, Taylor, and Ulissa. They were the first 10, and I feel like I should explain more what Love Island is. It's a competition show where those people enter, and few frequently, like at least 6 times per season, that they will couple up with each other, and whoever is not in a couple is declared single. Some cases, if you're single, they'll just let you stay there. But in other cases, if you're single, you get eliminated, or in this case, dumped from their villa. The villa is located in Fiji. I've looked up on Google Maps, and it's a nice villa. It's very nice. But that's not really the point, is there? Well, that's not the point. The main point is, so coupling. There's all the ways you can get dumped. One, if you're not coupled up by other couplings. There's also, throughout the season, the public, us or America, gets to vote on the islanders, as they're called, or for their couples. We'll get to that in just a moment. I'm gonna get to what's been happening as of now, today. So everyone couples up first. First, the couples were in alphabetical order: Ace and Ulissa, Austin and Shelley, Bella and Nick, Huda and Jeremiah, and Alandria and Taylor. So they were them. So that was that. Now, before the season even began, some things came out involving one of the contestants. And the person that it was involving, Ulissa. Going to their story on Deadline. Love Island USA, Ulissa Escobar exits the villa amid backlash over resurfaced racist comments. The show literally doesn't say anything about it. They just only made one statement saying Ulissa has left the villa, and they just continued on. Like, literally, you can miss it. You can literally miss them saying that Ulissa left, because it's glossed over with what other events are happening throughout the day. Like, they literally pushed that bitch aside for good reason. Hello, Doey, is that how you say it? Doey the Doberman. I love that. Everybody's so creative with YouTube names. Okay, now back to the start before I lose track. So, the show, if it doesn't make a statement, but I'm reading on. After Peacock unveiled the names of the Islanders heading to Fiji for season 7 of the reality dating competition, internet sleuths found a clip of Ulissa using the N-word repeatedly. Now, if you don't know what the N-word is, what the fuck do you mean? What the fuck? You know exactly what I'm talking about. That word is literally the biggest racist remark you can ever make in your life. And fans obviously called for Ulissa's removal. And they did. They removed her. It was considered day 3 when Ulissa left, which meant her partner Ace was officially single. That was insane. Well, since they kind of glossed over Ulissa being removed, I'm going to have to gloss over it as well, because I kind of forgot more about what happens with Love Island. Also, periodically throughout the season, new people enter, also known as bombshells, and they're there to shake up couplings. They were to try to steal a connection to make their own. The first bombshells were Charlie from the UK and Sierra. You might want to stick around for what happened to Sierra later on. So they all couple up. So they were the next. They got to steal who they wanted. Well, actually, Sierra got to steal because a few men wanted to couple up with her. She chose to couple up with Nick, meaning Bella was left single. Bella doesn't get dumped, so is Ace. They're both still in the game. Next two bombshells were Amaya and Hannah. Amaya. Amaya Papaya, as fans dub her. You'll get to. You might want to stick around for a little laugh about Amaya. So they enter day 5. The next day, they recouple. The men get to couple up with the women, and since there was one more girl than there were boys, whoever is left single gets dumped. Ace couples up with new bombshell Amaya. Charlie couples up with bombshell Hannah. So everyone and surprise, Austin stays with Shelly, Jeremiah stays with Huda, Taylor stays with Alangia, and Nick chose Sierra over Bella, meaning Bella was left single and she was dumped. Bye, Baldasha. 3 days later, the next 3 bombshells arrive. Names Iris, Jalen, and Pepe. And then came the first public vote of the season. And this was something that I've never seen before. The vote involved between the 3 bombshells. The public voted on who they should couple up with. Meaning 3 people would be left single at that point. So the public voted. Jalen was paired with Olandria. Pepe was paired up with Hannah. And Iris was coupled up with Jeremiah. Oh my god. If you don't really know like the lore of Huda's lore, and why a lot of people voted the way they did, I suggest you go on to Love Island USA. Search up Love Island USA on TikTok. And you win Huda, Jeremiah, Iris recoupling. When I was revealed, oh my god, it was so funny. I was like, what? And I was like, what the fuck? Literally. Literally is what she said. So that meant Charlie, Huda, and Taylor were left single. But Ariana, the host, Ariana reveals that there was going to be a dumping, not chosen by the public, but by the Islanders themselves. The Islanders individually had a vote, one of the 3 vulnerables, to dump. And here's the funny part with Amaya. Literally, Amaya was literally crying. She was like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. No. And then Charlie immediately just decides to start pleading his case, which makes it even worse. Maya gets louder with her nose, and I'm like trying to tell him to stop, but he goes anyway, saying that me and Hannah, he was coupled up with Hannah. They were forming a bigger connection, and please don't vote for me. Unfortunately, the pleas kind of fell on deaf ears as he was dumped in a 3-2-1 vote. 2 votes were for Huda, and 1 was for Taylor. So Charlie got dumped. 2 days later, a recoupling happens. It was a private recoupling. The girls went to closed doors, and the boys wanted to choose who to couple up with. Whoever still had their doors shut, and a boy who failed to couple up were left single and vulnerable. Some relationships change. Ace becomes paired up with Shelly. Amaya gets paired up with Austin. Alandria goes back to Taylor. But Nick stays with Sierra. Pepe gives Hannah another chance. And Jeremiah, having to choose between Huda or Iris, he picks Iris. And Huda is left single. And so was Jalen. You also need to look up at the world's reactions when Jeremiah stepped to Iris's door. Everybody was shouting. They were loving it. Crazy. Crazy times. So Jalen and Huda were left single, and once again, vulnerability happens. The Islanders had to choose one of them to stay. And by choosing to stay, they had to stand behind the person they wanted to save. Whoever got the lowest votes was dumped. And in an 8-4 vote, Huda was saved and Jalen was dumped. Next event was the new bombshells. The names Andreina and TJ. Oh my god, if you look up Andreina's entrance, that bitch, her body is tea. Her body is amazing. Literally, the only thing that could really surface in my mind was hips and legs and body, body, body. Literally, the whole song blasting by the speakers. That's what I was feeling. And Andreina got really, really viral. We're saying to talk about her being a bombshell, doing what bombshells do. Looking directly at the camera, she goes, "I'm taking your man." Oh my god. And everybody's like, "What? Me? You're gonna take my man?" And I saw a lot of TikToks about that too, where they repeat the clip, I'm taking your man. And now the girls go to the gym, putting a bunch of workouts, saying, "Nope, no, you not." It's so funny. It's very funny. And TJ, not a lot of whoop-de-whoop on TJ. But I just wanted to say that. Next event happened 2 days later. The second public vote of the season was voted on everybody voting for the favorite Islanders. The top 4 girls and the top 3 boys were saved, and while the bottom 3 from each gender would be vulnerable. And as Andreina and TJ entered right when voting began, they were immune. So that was that. Girls Rise, the 4 girls saved were Shelly, Sierra, Huda, and Alandria. Boys side, Ace, Nick, and Taylor were saved, meaning Amaya, Hannah, and Iris, and Austin, Jeremiah, and Pepe were left vulnerable. The dumping was the saved girls had to choose one of the 3 girls that were vulnerable to dump, and same goes for the boys. And oof, this stirred up a big public controversy because the boys were playing it more strategically. While the girls, I don't know how they did it. The girls dumped Hannah, and Hannah just breaks down immediately. Very sad. The boys dump Jeremiah. What I thought was, and a lot of people were very pissed about that because I feel like Ace was playing it more strategically, saying that he was, I don't know, it's jealousy maybe, and wasn't it was taking it very competitively, like playing it as a competition, blah blah blah. Yak yak yak. So, and then literally TikTok exploded, flooding the Love Island USA TikTok with petitions to bring back Jeremiah. Obviously, no, that can't happen. I don't I don't know why they would do that. So that happened. The next day, the twist of the season that has been occurring almost every year. They call it Casa Amor. Casa Amor is where one gender, the girls or boys, are going to another location with all new sets of bombshells, and they stay there for a couple days, while the other gender stays in the villa with another set of new people. The new people entries, the Casa Amor bombshells in alphabetical order, were Brian, Chris, Clark, Coco, Elon, Grayson, Jaden, JD, Vanna, Zach with a C, and Zach with a K. That's the only way I'm gonna decipher both of them, even though both completely different. Zach with a K competed in the ITV revival of Big Brother in the United Kingdom. And if you want to know how he did, he gets evicted second. I thought I watch. So that happens, and the biggest twist was that Ariana reveals that everybody would return to the villa. Meaning, usually would mean that they would do recoupling, and the girls or the boys, they were each one by one to say if they wanted to recouple with one of the Casa people or stay loyal in hopes that the other your partner would do the same. The best result is that both of them stay loyal and they stay a couple. The meh one is both of them recouple, meaning two new people get added to the villa. The worst result is where only one person stays loyal, the other recouples, blindsiding them and throwing their relationship away. That's what mostly happened last year, though. I saw the clips of the recoupling last year. It was so crazy. Only one of them stayed loyal. One stayed loyal, and the others, it was only the men. Only the men were bringing new bitches in. Only men were bringing these new slags incoming. Where only like one of the Casa men got to stay. Because one of the girls was single at the time, and of course she's gonna recouple. Why the fuck wouldn't she recouple? But that was a big thing, and oof, definitely changed a lot of opinions about men, and that's why a lot of men can't keep it in their pants. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, day 17, they actually coupled up in day 17, and whoever was left single, one from each, would be left single and vulnerable. They were Amaya from Casa and TJ in the villa. The next day, they could everybody could recouple. Oh, should I probably told you what? No, you probably don't care. I don't care about the couples. So some of them switch, some stay together, and the people left single were Nick and Alandria. Now, they made it seem for both of them that they were going to be dumped. Alandria first, and then Nick. And then as Nick was leaving, a van pulls up, And the door opens. It's Alandria telling Nick to get in, get in. It was left in a cliffhanger. What happened was they were both sent on a date where they had a decision to either go back to the villa and couple up and be a couple, or stay single and be dumped. What do you think happened? Of course they coupled up. So yes, that's what happened. 2 days later, the twist, they did another recoupling. And they had to choose to become a couple. And if they weren't chosen, you would be single and vulnerable. The pairing standings in alphabetical order were Ace and Shelley, Amaya and Zach with a K, Andrena and Brian, Chris and Huda, Iris and TJ, Sierra and Nick, Grayson and Pepe, Clark and Taylor. I think that's it. And the moment that Taylor chose Clark over Alandria, that got even bigger fan uproar. Literally, people literally were vowing that when the next vote opens, that they weren't going to vote for either one of them, and that they would be leaving the villa as soon as possible. We'll get to that later. So the people left single were Coco, Elon, JD, Alandria, Vanna, and Zach with a C. So they had it. So only two of them could stay, and the other four would be dumped. The Casa people had to choose a boy to save, and the main villa, they had to choose a girl to save. They ended up saving Elon and Alandria, meaning Coco, JD, Vanna, and Zach with a C were dumped. Crazy event, crazy outcome. And then nothing happens for a few days until day 24. The third public vote happens. It's for the favorite Islanders. And the bottom three each would be left, from each gender, would be vulnerable. Everyone else would be saved. In alphabetical order, the saved Islanders were Ace, Amaya, Brian, Shelley, Chris, Sierra, Elon, Huda, Iris, Nick, Clark. Clark, I fucked up. I'll start again. Ace, Amaya, Brian, Shelley, Chris, Sierra, Clark, Elon, Huda, Iris, Nick, Alandria, Pepe, and Zach. I don't have to say Zach with a K because the other Zach is gone. He's out. Meaning, Andrena, Grayson, and Jaden, and Austin, Taylor, and TJ were the bottom three each and were left vulnerable. The craziest thing about this was the safe Islanders, only one of the six could stay, meaning the other five would be dumped. And the Islanders had to stand by the person they wanted to save. And with 5 votes, Taylor was chosen, meaning Andrena, Austin, Grayson, Jaden, and TJ were dumped in a quintuple dumping. Damn, Andrena. Seems like you couldn't take no man. I'm sorry. That was stupid of me. I can't believe I did that. But I did it anyway. Then next big event involves Sierra. Day 26, like Yulissa, what happened with Yulissa, Sierra was then removed after stories from her Instagram surfaced of her using a racial slur, an Asian racial slur. Um, it was like for days. The like about the week before, it came out from two of her posts, one from 2015 and one from 2023, showing the show that she used the same slur, contemplating cosmetic procedures she wanted to get. And just like how the show said how Yulissa left the villa, they said about Sierra, Sierra has left the villa due to a personal situation. Personal situation being meaning you got exposed. Um, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's a slur against Asian people, and that's it. I'm not. That's it. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna say it because I know the repercussions. I ain't. That's all I'm gonna say about that matter. And apparently, during the episode, you can see Sierra before it's revealed that she's gone. You could see her getting ready for the day or just there. You'll see her in the background. That's it. And another thing that happened was in the middle of a confessional, Alantra's confessional, some audio was heard in the background. Excuse me, Alandria discussing something, but you can clearly hear if you like turn the volume up. You can hear someone going, "You can't do this." Someone and very angry, and it's assumed that it was Sierra after she was told that she needed to go. That's what happened. Since Nick was coupled up with Sierra at the time, he was left single. But luckily, later that day, a recoupling happens. And this is the final recoupling of the season as the show is ending Sunday, where one of these couples is going to be crowned the winner by us. We get to decide. And we also get to decide who goes to that final. We have the power now. The power is in our hands. But the final recoupling happened. Day 26. The final pairings were Ace and Shelly. Amaya paired up with Brian, newly single Brian, because he was paired up with Andrena. Clark and Taylor, still together. Chris and Huda. Iris now coupled up with Pepe after both were left single. Iris was coupled up with TJ. Pepe was with Grayson. Do I want to say it? I think I have to. Nick and Alandria. Nick and Alandria recoupled. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Nick and Alandria recoupled, and from day 18, they decided to recouple. And a lot of fans, they dubbed them Nicolandria. It's like the ship names. And a lot of people are going to stand a big campaign and vote for them to win. I don't know if they're going to win. A lot of people love Amaya. And I've seen Huda get a lot of support. I don't know, after like something. Fans are like, really? Y'all do a fucking 180. This is not what I'm saying. This is what some of the fans are saying. You're literally doing a 180. Have you really forgotten what Huda was like at the beginning? How nasty Huda was in the beginning? And I kind of have to agree to sentiment. The way y'all love to flip flop on some people, because the moment they don't act right, you begging for them to leave, but once they like somehow like one little apology, they're like, "Yes, queen, you go, queen, yes, queen." Do I want to go there? Do you want me to go there? Do you want me to go through that meme to say every single gay lingo in the book? I'm going to. I'm gonna have to because this is what I kind of see some say. Go, yes, queen, skinny legend, Versace boots the house down, slay queen, hunting mama, oop, daddy work, Charlie XCX, snatch my wig. I don't have wigs. I just realized I need to get the fuck off social media once in a while. I need to touch grass. I've consumed so much of it. That's what's wrong with me. I've consumed so much pop culture that I'm spewing it out for you, for your entertainment. Oh my god. Back to the matter at hand. Obviously, there were two singles. The singles were Elon and Zach, and you know what happens to them? They both get dumped. That's right. And but then the other vote that happened on Sunday was we're then voting for our favorite couples, but the couple who had the lowest overall votes would be dumped immediately, no questions asked. And a lot of fans got their wish. Clark and Taylor were at the bottom, and they were dumped. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I'm only reading what I'm seeing on the official Love Island season 7 Wikipedia page. But all I know is that Nick and Alantria were the final couple called safe. But it is told at the beginning when the results are read that they were revealed in no particular order. So Nick and Alantria were not necessarily the bottom two. They just read their names last for dramatic effect. And which will probably beg for people to vote for them. And I did vote for Nick and Alantria. I did vote for them. Um, I guess I should showcase. I guess I should say who I voted for. For the first vote, Iris, I voted for Jeremiah. Jalen, I also voted for Alandria. Pepe, I voted for Sierra. I think. The second vote, I think I did Nick and Alandria. I don't know. But the third vote, I voted for Nick and Amaya. And the last vote, I voted for Nick and Alandria. The next vote, which happened yesterday, was voting for once again for the favorite couples, but this time the couple with the lowest votes would be dumped, and the other four would head straight to the final. I voted for Amaya and Brian. I have no idea who's gonna go. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even know who I'm gonna vote for in the final four because there's so many different outcomes that can be played out. Ace and Shelly could get dumped. Amaya and Brian, Chris and Hudda, Iris and Pepe, Nick and Alandria. Every single one of them could get dumped, and a whole bunch of different outcomes can be had. I don't know what I'm gonna vote for. Do I just land it on a wheel of fate? Do I just put all their names in and spin a wheel, and I'll vote for what the decision is, and I'll just vote based on what it says? I feel like I have to. I just don't know. There's different sides. There's different sides. But if I have to say who is gonna leave, I'll have to lean on Iris and Pepe. That's my prediction tomorrow. I think that's when they're gonna reveal the results tomorrow. Or maybe they're gonna do it Friday. I don't know because there's no official episode Saturday. They call it the After Sun. And After Sun is like the spin-off. And the After Sun there. Well, how do I explain it? How do I explain After Sun? Yeah, it would be host. After Sun is like where they would interview the dumped Islanders and show unseen footage. That's technically what it is. So yeah, no official episode Wednesday. Saturday is considered after Sunday. I feel like a lot of people skip those. So yeah, there's a new episode tomorrow. I think that's when voting results. Either that or it's Friday. I don't know. But Sunday is the finale. July 13th. The season is ending. That's it. And that's basically what Love Island this season has been, summarized in 38 minutes, 37 minutes ish. That's a lot of yapping. Okay, that's one showdown. Now let's go to the next show that will officially make me lose more of my sanity, and that is Big Brother. Big Brother is premiering the new season. The season 27 is premiering tomorrow night at 8 on CBS. You can also stream it on Paramount Plus if you have a subscription. I ain't watching. I'm just mostly a I'm not a casual. I do lurk in the feeds. I sometimes watch feeds. Probably more specific like in the morning to just I don't know, watch them wake up to see who is awake. The early rises before the big mute alarm rings, forcing everybody to get up and for them to start the day. And I feel like some of you don't know what Big Brother is, so I'm gonna have to explain what Big Brother is, even though I don't want to. But I fear some of y'all are not that educated in reality TV. Okay, so Big Brother was originally created back in 1999 in the Netherlands by a man named Jean de Mol. Jean de Mol. What it is that they would put a random amount of people from all walks of life, put them in one house, cut them off from the outside world, where they are being constantly monitored by cameras all over, and they are all packed with microphones, so the audio picks up every single thing they hear. Mm-hmm. Meaning absolutely no privacy. Nothing is not there are no secrets in that house. What it is for usual other Big Brothers is that at any point during the week, everybody gets called to a secret room titled the Diary Room, where other than what they do, they can sometimes go in there to receive information about a task, information from the outside world that they need to hear, personal information, or they can just go in there and rant about everything going on in the house, or to just go or just use there to like get comfort or calm down after a massive fight, or if or other occasions, other things you can do in a diary room is tell them that you want to leave. You can tell them you want to leave the house and just go back to your home, or Big Brother will remove you from the house via the diary room. But the other main purpose of the diary room is you showcase who you're nominating. And nominations mean that you nominate two of your fellow housemates for eviction, and whoever receives the most, as they call it, nominations gets nominated for eviction, and the public votes out one of them. Whoever receives the most votes from the public gets evicted, and that's that. The US is very different. The format was used in the first season, but by the second season, due to massive negative reception, the show did a major overhaul. The start of the week, the players play a competition to earn a title of head of household. The head of household means they have full control of the game. They get their own special room, like the master bedroom is considered. They get a master bedroom, and they have full control over nominations. So technically, that would be played out Thursdays. The next day or Friday, and this is coming from me watching Big Brother and looking at like updates on some Twitter accounts. The nomination ceremony happens on Friday. The usual spiel. The spiel is this is the ceremony. One of my duties is to nominate two people for eviction. Originally, They did it based on like a wall. They bring a wheel full of keys. They put it in the mid. They put it on the dining room table. And after you doing that, one of my duty spiel, they then say, "I will pull the first key," which means that house guest is safe. They will pull the next key, and so on and so forth. And it's like a chain. They pull out the key, read the name, and then they'll say, "You are safe." The ceremony ends until two people are left without a key, meaning they are nominated for eviction. After the keys are pulled up, the head of household stands up and says, "I have nominated you blank and you blank for eviction." They give their reasons, and then this nomination ceremony is adjourned. Then they go on with the rest of their day. The next day, Saturday, is the power veto competition. The power veto means that the head of household, the two nominees, and three additional people chosen by inside a bag from random draw, they get to compete in a competition, and whoever wins it can earn the power to remove one of the housemates from the block, forcing the head of HOH to name a replacement nominee. Now, there's a 1 in 6 chance of winning. The head of household can win, or three of the chosens can win. So the competition's played out. Whoever wins gets the veto. Sunday, nothing happens. Monday is the veto meeting, where the veto winner says that I won the veto. It's my power. To save one of the nominees, and if the out of household gets to make a replacement. If the veto winner was a nominee, they'll have the power to save themselves. If another person wins, they can choose to save the person they want, and the HOH as a nominee. But another option they can choose is to not use it, meaning the nominations stay the same and we save time. If you are saved, though, the head of household has to go up and nominate another person for eviction. Veto gets adjourned, and then they wait 3 days. So Tuesday and Wednesday also nothing. Thursday is the official live eviction, hosted by the one and only Julie Chen Moonves. Julie Chen with a little "Hi, house guests." Midway, way into the show, she calls in and says it's time for the live voting to begin. The two nominees are given a chance for one final plea to make sure the House doesn't vote for them and to sway their opinions last minute. So they do that. Then everybody votes. The only people not voting are the two nominees and the head of household. The head of household is told that they can only vote to evict in the event of a tie, meaning that there are 4 votes for one house guest and 4 votes for the other. The head of household has to choose who they vote to evict. That person gets evicted. So one by one, everybody else gets called into the dining room to cast their votes to evict. As they're entering in, Julie says like a statement relating to the nominees and asks how will they vote? How will they do it? So she says hello to them, they say hello back, but recently they'll be like, "Hey Julie, you look exquisite tonight." Exquisite. Julie then asks them to cast their votes to evict. They say, "I vote to evict blank." Julie thanks them, and then they go out. But in recent occurrences, and this is only modern seasons, they literally shout out their whole bloodline. Like, "Hi mom, hi dad, hi everyone, hi teacher from 3rd grade elementary school, hi, my bad, I love you." Literally wasting time. And the whole ending repeats itself until the last person votes. Julie then reveals to the house the results of the vote, saying that when she reveals it, the evicted house guest has a few moments to say goodbye, gather their belongings, and walk out the front door. Reading the result, when she reads the results, she then said blank, "You are evicted from the Big Brother house." Person says their goodbyes, walks out the door with their bags in her hand, and is greeted to a thunderous applause, coached by the producers. The House then reacts to the vote. The House reacts to the vote. Some of them in shock, some in tears, some be like, "Who the fuck flipped? Who flipped?" Because there's some flipping that can happen. Or some in celebration, like, thank God we finally got you out. And then Julie interviews the person, asking some related questions like, why do you think you're here? Some alliances that they formed, and some people are told how the voting went if since they're not in the jury. The juror versus non-juror. Non-juror technically, well, as of now, this season or last season, was up to the person from 16th place up to 10th place. So the first seven evicted would be evicted. They would be told everything because they are sent back home next day after they are interviewed by press. They are subject to interviews the first moment they get out of the house. Julie asks them questions, and at the end, they are shown some goodbye messages from a select few house guests in the event they were sent home. Julie then asks for their final thoughts and then sends them on their way. And then the next week officially begins with the head of household competition. Now, another thing that's been more modern is that the head of household competition is never usually live. They don't show a live competition now. If they only show in the next episode. Big Brother airs Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Days. That's it. You can watch the live feeds of the house guests, Paramount Plus for a fee, or Pluto TV for free. They claim that you can watch them 24/7, but there's a whole bunch of feeds cuts. Either they cut some things that they really want to hide, or they'll cut them for long periods. They'll cut them during the nomination ceremony. They'll cut the feeds during the veto comp, cut them to the veto meeting, and cut them during eviction. Because it's live. You can just watch on TV. But other than that, you can just watch the house guests in their glory. Watching them like a little stalkerish way, but not really. But so that's what usually it is. But last year there was a whole big twist that happened related to the season where the HOH nominates 3 people for eviction, and by the live eviction, all 3 of them go into one final competition where they can try to save themselves. Whoever wins the competition is declared safe, and the other 2 are subject to the ever for so eviction. So they called it last year the BBAI Arena. This year they're bringing it back, titling it the BB Blockbuster. Now, the name change is probably due to the twist. Last year's main twist was involving AI. This year's twist, they're calling it the Summer of Mystery. The whole house is full of mystery. There's 16 new people, but it's been told that there is going to be a 17th mystery person that's going to be revealed during tomorrow's premiere. Insane, right? I think so. And a lot of fans are speculating who it is. The biggest person that I've been seeing is Big Brother 12 and 13 house guest, the winner of Big Brother 13, Rachel Riley. Rachel first competed in Big Brother 12 as a VIP cocktail waitress. She is best known for her red hair and her hair extensions, and her showmance with her now husband, Brendan. And her little voice. Rachel was subject to a lot of targets. Rachel first won 2 head of households in her first season. And was also best known as snuggling up with Brendan on a spend of summer. She then gets evicted the 5th week, sent to jury. Rachel is iconic. That's all I gotta say. Rachel is very iconic. After she won her second HOH, the biggest iconic quote of her was said. In their words, "Floaters, you better grab a life vest, Kristen." And then she spats on Kristen. You just watch the whole season. You can watch the whole season on YouTube, episodes ish. And it's very funny. The fight is crazy. That's where Big Brother was at its prime. Where people who were destined to win, not for the social media fame, not to only be known for having a showmance, but they wanted to win a life-changing sum of cash. And it seems it's not just a whole love fest and where everybody's singing the Lord's praises, which is what they do now. Come on, it's not supposed to be family friendly. A lot of people only watch. Some people only watch for the drama, for the messiness, for why reality TV messy department. Some people only watch for competition. Some people want to see love blossom. I mean, that's you. That's on you, babes. That's on you, babes. That ain't my style. I don't want to see you riding it on my feet. Sorry. But yeah, that's Rachel. But after she gets evicted, her partner Brendan, part of a twist called the Pandora's Box, he opens it, and as a consequence, Rachel returns to the house for 24 hours, unleashing her hell amongst everybody. And the way she re-entered the house was iconic. She was like, "I'm back, bitches!" And then she gets into verbal spats with other house guest Reagan. And he reads her down. She gets some jabs in, of course. I think his biggest one was count your friends. Done already? And one of her big spats that I can think of was, do you have to be such a bitch because you're gay? Reagan's gay, by the way. So yeah, that was that. That is probably one of the most considered one of the top fights there were. So that was that. Big Brother 13, Rachel returns, along with Brendan, in a twist. In the main season twist where there are 8 new people and 6 returnees, all with a relationship. Of course, partners Brendan and Rachel, along with Dick and Danielle, evil Dick and his estranged daughter Danielle. I think they're more estranged now more than ever. And another favorite couple, on production favorite or some audience favorites, Jeff and Jordan. Now, there's been some very much controversial. Jeff is considered controversial because next one parts of the season, he says some homophobic language that is considered homophobic in both of his appearances. And Dick is seen as a polarizing figure as some. Jordan's mixed, I would think. And Danielle, she tried to do what she could, but when she got evicted. But Danielle's eviction was kind of iconic in its way. Her speech was like saying that she wanted to play the game that she loved. And it's sad that a lot of people were spending their summers only to write Jeff and Jordan a paycheck. $500,000 paycheck. Luckily for Danielle, it was a double eviction. Jeff gets evicted that night. and one of the house guests, Shelly, who kind of plays a catalyst in it, gets a whole bunch of death threats for what? Playing a game. She gets threats against her, against her family, literally. That's probably the lowest, another lowest you can do. Threatening to kill somebody or tell them to kill themselves over a game show is fucking insane. You need to be psychologically analyzed if you're telling somebody that you are going to painfully torture them and murder them in the most inhumane way possible, or basically tell them to grab something, either grab a gun, a throat, a knife to slash your throat, or put a rope around your neck and die. That is very much insane. And this goes for every other competition show. For some people who don't like, hey, it's fine. You can say you don't like this person because, hey, there she just rubs me the wrong way, or hey, they're a big bully. Hey, but they've shown that they're not a nice person. But to go to stoop to a level to wish them physical harm or death, turn off your fucking TVs. Get the fuck off social media. Don't ever consider yourself a fan. You are not a reality TV fan if you're going about your time sending literal death threats to fellow people. Because these people are also humans as well. It is one thing to try to tell them, if to see what they've done, to hold them accountable and hope that they do better. And it goes along with cancel culture. But some people just like, they don't want to see accountability. They're saying that you do delete your whole account, delete your socials, don't ever step foot outside in public again, or cease existing. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And if you're one of those people that has done that at least once, send a literal threat wishing harm against that person or their families, get off my page. Get the fuck away from me. Block me, unsubscribe, unfollow me in any of my socials, unsubscribe to my YouTube, block me, and I'll block your ass as well. In fact, step to the floor. Yeah. I understand that fans tend to be a little more passionate, or as we call it, parasocial with their favorites. But that is not what they would want you to do. They want to spread love, be positive, spread love and kindness, which is what, and they would hope that their fans would do the same. They're not literally sending pitchforks. They're not literally sending pitchforks and flamethrowers at your house. So they don't want you to burn their houses down. They want them to like send them love. While a lot of people would pick them down at the lowest, it would be better to lift them up. And that goes for anything. You can say what you want about this person, or I don't like them. That's fine. You don't have to like. I may love this person. You may hate them, and that's fine. Once again, sending literal threats, hoping that they go to sleep and never wake up, or send them appearances on their body, body shame them, shame them for appearance, shame them because of their ethnicity, their race, their sex, their gender, their religion. Go say a bunch of defamatory shit, accuse them of the most heinous shit that you cannot prove. That's also wrong. And if you are one of those people who loves to spew racist, homophobic, misogynistic, Islamophobic, everything, you can also get the fuck away from me. Fuck off. Don't ever call yourself a reality fan. Don't don't stop watching reality shows in general. Go back Joel Osteen or your preachers where they can spew the same shit that you love to spew. Fuck you, bitch. Okay, end of rant. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna show you the 16 people that have been chosen to enter the house. Oh, and by the way, they're actually inside. The move-in is not live. Yet they officially moved in yesterday. It's officially day 2. You'll get to see them tomorrow. If you now, this is gonna be a spoiler. If you don't want to see the people competing, I suggest you wait until tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central, or 8 o'clock Pacific Time on the West Coast, if you're a West Coast viewer. But if you want to see them, here they are. Ta-da! These are the 16 men and women that have entered the Big Brother house yesterday. And you will see them tomorrow night. And whatever twists may rain upon them. Now, originally, a couple days ago, CBS put out an ad showcasing 5 of them. And Twitter found those people in a snap. You literally blinked and they already have all of your information. Your name, your occupation, your job, your hometown, your friends, your social security, your credit card information, your subscriptions, who you're following. And they pull out these, and they immediately pick these winner picks, which I don't do winner picks, because if I do, the person may end up disappointing me. And some people have already locked in as their person as winner picks and automatically claiming them to stand cards. That's what, or stands cards, calling these people blah blah blah. And I don't do that. I don't know these people. I don't want to assume what they are, what they're gonna do. And apparently, some people have already have their judgments made by looking at them and their information and making a bunch of stupid statements. I don't do those. What I always do, and this goes for every single show I see yet to premiere, they've released a cast list. Talk, can you? I wish them the best of luck. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to wish these 16 the best of luck, and hopefully they won't lose as much as their sanities as I will lose my sanity watching as much as I want to watch. And I hope that I also pray that we can make it. I joked about it on my Twitter. I'm going to show you what I wrote. I wrote this 2 days ago. Here it is, along with a gif of Ralph Wiggum with his I'm in danger. I don't think I should really show it because copyright. I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to panel to really go after my ass again. I really don't want anybody. Please don't copyright me. Please. Okay, but I'll tell you what I said. I said, well, here we are. Seems like this is the only time we come together like one big happy family until the Stan update account wars break out, that is. And it's true. I've seen a whole bunch of updates accounts literally updating their every move, and the Stans literally changing their profile pictures to the house guests they are currently standing. I don't do that. The only profile picture I have is my Gracie girl. And that's going to be the same for the rest of my life. No exceptions. Okay, last one. It's almost time for that show to consume our entire lives for the next 3 months. I'm not kidding. The season's going to be at least 90 days old. And I'm looking at my For You, scrolling through my For You, Big Brother related. Okay, so I'm looking at what's happening. So they entered the house yesterday, and so is this the 17th, the mystery person, or the 17th house guest. Photos have been released. There are reactions of who that person is, and I'm not making any assumptions. I don't want to make assumptions because I'm gonna be wrong. I'm looking at their cast photos, and I just don't know. Excuse me. I'm still scrolling. I'm looking at a bunch of BS, trying to get a nice little cleanser from the horridness. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to make it sound. I don't want to like dwell so much on this season, and that's why I made one more statement. I fear we're not gonna make it this time. And I want to say that I jokingly said that, but I don't really think I'm gonna joke. I don't really don't think this show really does a number on you. And it's come to the point where you just have to just turn it off. That happens to me. That has happened to me. Where I like completely lose any motivation I've had that the season would be good. I just tune out. Mm, excuse me again. And I just don't know. I don't know. That's why I don't do drafts. I don't do drafts. I don't put my winner picks out. I just can't do that. I can't. I don't know. And I don't want to really dwell on this any further. Still scrolling. I'm just still scrolling. I'm have to get off. Special thanks to reality TV underscore fan on their socials. The ones who release these releases casts of these reality TV shows. Oh, and Canadians, last night, The Amazing Race Canada returned on CTV. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that. Okay, little, but they're like in the bottom half, but hopefully they can stay. But okay, I'm only looking because I know like one couple that I really hope makes it as far as they can, and it's Ika and Dimitri. And you Canadians know the name Ika. Big Brother Canada legend Ika won, and Big Brother Canada 5-star Dimitri Janitsos. I hope I said that right. Ika, who's who iconic for her first season, season two, a very great figure. Season five becomes even more iconic. Just look up her lore. She was great TV, and I think she's gonna make good TV again as well. But I don't really follow the Amazing Race. I also don't really that's what I mostly do. I'm mostly following Love Island, and when Love Island ends, it's gonna be Big Brother. I also don't really do Survivor, but Survivor 49 is coming this fall. So will the new Amazing Race season. They're both coming this fall. How are they gonna do this when? Well, they're definitely gonna have to change like some dates for when Big Brother's still gonna air around the time Survivor airs. So I don't really wanna. Hmm. Oh, no, I don't. No. Yeah, I don't. I still don't really know what's gonna happen. Hmm. I'm currently looking at the Big Brother fandom wiki, and the U.S. is gonna start airing tomorrow. The current Big Brother seasons in the global Big Brother. We're currently midway in the Greece season, midway Israel, France, their France season, and a couple weeks into Portugal. Well, almost 2 weeks in Portugal. Like in fucking Portugal. Like, seems like they're almost on. They're like literally aired 365 days a year. When a season ends, the next week a new season begins. That's literally what it's been. I haven't gotten Portugal off my clock yet. I did have it off until I realized that this new show was premiering 1 week after the last season's finished airing. But they love putting me on my toes. And after this new season ends, another season is coming in September, and that's gonna end on New Year's Eve. Like almost every single of their seasons that doesn't start before September. They always end it New Year's Eve, December 31st. I'm looking back at the Israel season that they're airing. They're currently 8 weeks in, and I feel like at this time, and I've seen this happen, this would be a good time to start introducing the intruders, the additional batch of people, additional entries. They're on brand, it's on point here. I think it's time. Mr. Vicky was nominated almost every single week, except for the fifth week, but now he's gone. So yeah. Mm. So that's happening. Yeah, I'm sorry, Big Brother just does a number on me. It does a number on a whole bunch of people too. I really don't have anything else to say. I just want to get off some things on my chest. Oh, holy shit! I'm looking at my YouTube. I got a whole bunch of people watching. Oh my god! I got a whole new set of subscribers. Thank you, whoever you are. Cause some of y'all are private. I still think your subscriber list is private. I still want to thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Do I want to go one more? What else is there for me to do? I fear nothing. I fear. Hmm. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have to call this off now. There's nothing else I want to say. I've yapped as much as I yapped. And I'm sorry for a long ass delay. Life happens. Not that much motivation. I just have a lot of busy things I'm doing. Busy taking care of the house, making sure my family is fed, my dog is happy, make sure Gracie is happy, cause happy life, happy wife, right? I'm like a housewife. That's literally I'm an undesignated housewife, unofficial housewife. If they did an upstate New York Real Housewives, I fear I'm gonna be the first male housewife. I fear. But I would be so horrible for reality TV. I would be so awful. I don't have the personality. I can't. I don't know if I can fake drama. I have to be like real. Yeah, I don't think I would do that. Mm-mm. Okay, but okay. I'm gonna stop now. I'm I'm a little warm. I'm not tired, but I'm just gonna retire to bed because it's currently 10 past 9, 11 past 9 p.m. 11 past 9. I sometimes talk like I'm from another country, but I'm not. I borrow words and phrases from other countries. I don't know because I want to be familiar, but that's familiar with all other what's considered slang, you know. But that's that. Okay, now I'm real. Okay, I'm gonna kick off. I'm gonna go away now. I wish you a lovely good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever the hell you are. Drink your water, stay in touch with your families, keep your mental health in check, and sometimes, and you can disconnect from social media once in a while. Read a book, listen to a podcast, listen to music. That would be fun for you, right? That would be fun. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Okay, now I'm really gonna go now. I bid you goodbye, and whenever I want to do this again, not. Hopefully, I won't go back hopefully, it won't be in over a month, but I'll be back soon. Peace and love. Now, goodbye.